In Python, we have a utility called Pydoc that comes with Python installation. With this utility, we can easily see the documentation for a module. That module can be one of the modules in Python standard library or one of our own modules. Let me show you. So here on the terminal, if you're on Windows, type Pydoc. If you're on Mac or Linux, type Pydoc 3. Next, we add math. So we're going to look at the documentation for the math module in Python standard library. There you go. So the name of this module is math. Here's the reference documentation. So you can copy paste this into your browser. And on this page, you can see all the details of the math module. You can see all the functions and their description. Alternatively, you can see all the documentation here in the terminal window. So look at this colon here. That means this is a multi-page documentation, and you can go to the next page by pressing space. So here's the description for this module, and below that, you can see all the functions and the short description. Now, to exit this multi-page documentation, we press Q. Now, let's take a look at the documentation of our PDF to text module. So Pydoc 3 moshpdf.pdf to text. There you go. So here's the name of our module. Next to that, you can see our one-line description. This module provides functions to convert a PDF to text. Below that, you can see classes. So any classes that we have documented will end up here. As you can see, we have this converter class that derives from the object class in Python standard library. So here we can see the hierarchy of our class. Below that, we have the documentation for the converter class. Here you can see our short summary for the converter class. After that, we have methods defined here. So here's our convert method, followed by its short description. Let's go to the next page. You can see its parameters, the return value, and so on. Now, this Pydoc has a few interesting switches. One of them is W for writing this documentation to an HTML file. So Pydoc 3-W moshpdf.pdf to text. Now this generated this HTML file that contains the documentation for this module. Now let's open this HTML file. There you go. So here's our module, its short description, the classes. Here's our converter class that derives from the object class. And you can see the convert method, its parameters, and so on. We also have another interesting switch for loading the documentation for this application, as well as Python standard library in a web server. So we run Pydoc 3-P, that is short for port, and then add a port number like 1234. So you started a web server at this address, localhost port 1234. If you open this in our browser, we see something like this. So on the top, we have a few built-in modules. After that, you can see the modules in our application. So we have this app module, we have the setup module, as well as moshpdf, which is a package. Let's go here. In this package, we have two modules, PDF to image and PDF to text. And this is the documentation for our PDF to text module. Now let's go back. Below this, you can see the documentation for Python standard library. For example, we have the pathlib module here. Let's take a look. So in this module, we have the path class that you have worked with. As you can see, this class derives from another class called purePath, which derives from the object class. Also, path has two derivatives, POSIX path and Windows path. Again, here you can see the complete documentation for all the objects in this module. So this is all about Pydoc.